Well, good evening or afternoon to everyone. It's time for our meeting. This is the 11th meeting, the 146th Council of the Corporation of the City of St. Thomas. Thank you for all your attendance at a special meeting. We should be able to go through fairly quickly today. On the agenda, are there any disclosures of interest? Seeing none, we'll go to this special meeting.
Thank you, Your Worship. Council will now resolve itself into committee of the whole to deal with the following business. And under strategic direction and development, we have the one item, RFP results for the design and build of a new 49-space childcare facility. I have a motion that report SCSS 0626 relating to RFP results for the design and build of a new 49-space childcare facility be received for information, and further, that's subject to the Ministry of Education's approval to directly expend provincial funding to the proponent, that Council award the request for proposal 2026-31 to Harbour Hills Construction Management, Inc. in the amount of $2,764,734, excluding HST, and further, the Council approve a total project budget of $3,314,743, excluding HST, inclusive of an allowance of $550,000 for site plan, furniture, fixtures, and equipment, and related soft costs associated with the project. And further, the Council approve a municipal contribution in the amount of $550,000, subject to no other funding source being available. Moved by Councillor Baldwin-Sands, seconded by Councillor Reimel.
Questions or comments? Councillor Reimel, please.
Sure, I have two. The first one, does this project qualify at all for any development charges?
City Manager or Lou? I don't think so.
Through your worship, sorry, if I can just get some clarification, like in terms of, will it be charged development charges or?
No, could use any development charges.
Treasurer, I didn't even think of going to you first. Yeah.
Thank you, Your Worship. Childcare is not an eligible DC category.
I have one more. Just, I noticed on the report, it said that staff had also received legal counsel, which I think is great. And I'm just wondering, not just for this project, but for future projects, especially dealing with private entities, what sort of legal counsel do we find?
City Manager?
Through your worship to Councillor Reimel, it really is project specific. So the city does utilize the services of a Toronto-based firm to provide various legal advice for different kind of municipal matters. We also seek legal counsel for, say, HR matters or other land-related counsel as well. We also have a shared service agreement with Elgin County, so we can access their solicitor for general advice as well. So it really depends kind of on the complexity of, say, the agreements or the grant program as to whether we reach out for legal counsel, but we do not have like in-house legal services.
Thank you.
Councillor Baldwin-Sands.
Excuse me. I have just a quick question about parking, because one of the things, excuse me, that I've noticed with some of the other new childcare facilities that we have is the inability to get people in and out safely, number one, and the inability sometimes, especially when people are doing pickups at the same time, that there is not adequate parking spots in the design in order to accommodate not just parents, not just staff, but accommodating the entire community that this is going to end. And then I do have a comment after that.
Okay. Question on the design?
Through your worship, no, excellent question. That is something that we had included in our request for proposal to provide parking plans, and we provided details for what the required parking would be for that number of spaces. And most of the designs that came in achieve that. There are some, but there are some opportunities in and around that area that we could provide some additional parking should parking and drop-offs become a problem in the final design. We do have some options off-site, particularly to the north side of McGregor, to possibly provide some additional parking just to offset any potential issues and to improve any traffic flows, drop-off, pickup, that nature.
Okay, further comment?
Comment, please. I just want to express my gratitude to this council. I have noticed in the past on multiple times that we've had opportunities like this come forward and we haven't been able to capitalize on it. With having a special meeting today for this project to move forward, I not only fully endorse it, but again, to say that this is a big, strong need in the community and a deficit is going to be met. Getting people back to work and providing the quality childcare that we need to for this community is of the utmost importance to me. And it's great to see this report here. And I fully applaud the staff and the initiatives that they have done in order to move this forward. Thank you.
Councillor Clark?
Thank you, Your Worship. I understand this project needs to move along quickly, but I'm just wondering if whether we've thought of the concept of second stories and housing above daycare centers. I know we're going to be needing more daycare centers, and there seems to be funding for them, and whether or not that would help us along, or is it kind of in conflict to have any kind of senior housing or any kind of housing above a daycare?
Who wants that? Oh, Lou, you're taking them all today, aren't you?
Through your worship. No, that's a great question. And also just an overall great vision in terms of mixing of those uses. It is something that that can be contemplated in other sites. This site, because of the small footprint of this site and of the limited funding and scoped funding in term for this, there aren't those opportunities here, but those are opportunities that we may achieve in some other sites as we plan for more daycares and more housing in the future.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I realize with this one, it's time sensitive and it's not a huge piece of property, but I just wanted to plant that seed for the future.
Further questions or comments? I have a couple. First of all, Harbor Hills Construction Management, is this a firm we have used in the past? Or do we know of I mean, obviously they're the lowest bid, and so we know how RFPs work, but no, we're not certain, we don't know. City Manager.
Through your worship, I'm unaware if they've done work for the city before. I don't believe they have. However, as part of the RFP, they needed to submit similar municipal projects and provide references from other municipalities, which they've completed similar work as.
Yeah, I assume they qualified or pre-qualified in order to do this. I wasn't at all downplaying their corporate, but I just wonder if we had some work to look at that we could see of what they've done in the past. My second one is it hinges on what both Councillor Clark and Councillor Baldwin-Sands says. We've got this project down to a deficit of about 500,000 at the moment, from a bigger number. I know the crisis we're in for childcare, and it is kind of our lane, as is the crisis of housing. And so I like what Councillor Clark had to say, but I'm not sure if we can continue to take these size of deficits on everything we do from a childcare point of view. And I'll continue to share that message provincially because this is their lane, right? And the Minister of Education needs to and I like that they found a bunch of money here that really took a very large deficit down to this. But I'd like to remind the folks at home, the deficit on this project is still 1 whole point in taxes in our community, all right? Where for us to do something that is drastically needed in our community, but it's a bunch of other stuff that 1 point of taxes could really cover. So we'll continue to ask at AMO and regionally with the province about how to better fund childcare specifically through the Department of Education and to make that a better piece. So I just wanted to make sure we were telling the people at home and we were agreeing we're doing the right thing. I feel very comfortable and thank you, Councillor Baldwin-Sands, for saying that this is a crisis in our community and more people can get to work if we can do more of this. But I'm not sure how much more of this we can do on the taxpayer of the city of St. Thomas. We need to make sure that we're getting well compensated from the federal government and from the provincial government. And I know, Teresa, and your group has been just fantastic at also shouting that. And I did see that now there's even some more administrative funds, which we were always complaining about. So look, way to go. Maybe they're hearing us. We'll continue to shout over the next course of the next year. Councillor Herbert.
Thank you, Worship. I agree with you 110%. If you recall, a few years ago, our child care center just across, or orientate myself just across the street by the
Right.
park.
Yep.
We deferred that and then we waited 6 months and thought, we made it work.
Yeah.
So this is the same situation with this one. I mean, I honestly, the average taxpayer, I think when you're doing things for children, I think can accept that, but you're 100% right. We need to not spend the taxpayer money, but we need to do it because we're all in it for children. So, but anyway, just a comment. I agree with your comments.
Okay, great. Further questions or comments on this report? Councillor Wookie.
Thanks, Your Worship. Just to the treasurer, by what mechanism are we going to fund this gap? Thanks.
Mr. Treasurer?
Thank you, Your Worship. We do have some funds and reserves. There's not much. It's likely that this will be carried as a deficit that gets funded in next year's budget, but that is yet to be determined, kind of on purpose. We purposely didn't designate a funding source. We're still doing some forecasts on reserves for the end of 2026, and maybe there'll be some extra money there. But right now, I would consider it to be future taxes will pay for it.
The answer is we're good for it. Thank you. Thank you. And do we expect in the next year or so more childcare projects?
Thank you for that question. I would hope so. It is undetermined at this time because we don't know yet what the federal government is working with the provincial government to determine what funding is available. We really won't know until the end of this year. But we are hopeful because childcare still is a need in the province, in the city, and everywhere. And so the goal is to expand childcare, but we really don't know what that's going to look like yet.
Okay, because if we're adding a point to next year's taxes on a project for this year, and then have more in next year, we can also expect that this council will need to be looking at next year's budget, including what would be our standard increase in taxes just for childcare. So anyway, want everyone to know where we're at, what we're doing. Perfect. Further questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Are there any opposed? Carried. Next item.
Your Worship, no further items for the remainder of the committees. There is a need to move into closed session at this time. I have a motion that this meeting be closed to deal with a matter of information explicitly supplying confidence to the municipality by the Government of Canada and a personal matter about an identifiable individual. Moved by Councillor Baldwin-Sands, second by Councillor Reimel.
Questions or comments? We will be moving into closed session. When we come out of closed session, we will come back to the public simply to pass what we've done in closed session. And so for those of us watching us streaming right now, thank you. We'll see you again at our next meeting. All in favor? Any opposed? Carried.
Your Worship, at this time, I have a motion to rise from closed session. Moved by Councillor Herbert, second by Councillor Baldwin-Sands.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Are there any opposed? That's carried. We have risen.
Next item in open session is bylaws. I have a motion that leave be granted to bring in the bylaws. Moved by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Reimel.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Are there any opposed? That's carried.
I have a motion by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Reimel, that the bylaws be now read a first time, referred to Council and Committee of the Whole, and read a second time.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Are there any opposed? That's carried.
First bylaw, please.
First bylaw is a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council meeting held on the 26th day of March, 2026.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Thank you, that carries. Next bylaw, please.
Second and final bylaw is a bylaw to authorize mayor and clerk to execute and affix the seal of the corporation to a certain agreement between the city and Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation relating to a funding agreement amendment.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Carries unanimously. I rise to report the successful passing of the two bylaws.
Great work.
I have a
On your
motion
day
by-
off.
Sorry, Your Worship, motion by Councillor Clark, seconded by Councillor Reimel, that the report of Council and Committee of the Whole on the two bylaws be received and adopted. The same be read a third time, engrossed, signed by the mayor and clerk, sealed and numbered.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor? Are there any opposed? That's carried.
No further items under open session. At this time, I have motion for adjournment. Moved by Councillor Taylor, seconded by Councillor Herbert.
Questions or comments on adjournment? Seeing none, all those in favor? Any opposed? Carried.